Being forged takes process. I would give you the process of mine. The first thing I did was acceptance. I accepted the journey, the ride of me being ready to be forged. And doing so, a lot of me has to die. My behaviors, some disappeared. My characters, some left. But also, I gained more wisdom. Not the ones people see around now, but the ones you wouldn't. I started to see people and things for what they are, even though it scared the hell out of me, because the people whom I look upon, I realized how meh they were. I know someone in my past, the person I would look at them like somebody who has power, knowledge, understanding, and purpose. When I started to submit to the process, to the forging, I realized how ordinary they were because I was comparing myself to them. I would see their appearance and compare myself to them for what they have, but not what they truly been through. The minute I started to get better, this person came to me and said they wanted to be like me. They have the things that I do not have. I have equally none to what they have, but yet they compare themselves to me because my power wasn't in my appearance, but in my energy. That was when I realized I am more than just myself. Second phase, betrayal. I went through series of betrayal from friends, family, colleagues, loved ones, acquaintance. But even though this scarred me deep, made me see people differently, but I still try to maintain the softness by forgiving them and going easy on them because I know they've been through a lot too. But the way they chose to live that life wasn't their mistake, but it's okay. That is why I said be softer, kinder, be passionate. People who make mistakes, sometimes they've been through so much from their childhood, neglect, abuse. But now that you are an adult, you know better. Take a different position and become better. Forgive, let go, and become stronger. Third stage was my God stage. I started to draw closer to God more. And when I did that, I found out that God truly existed, not the ones they preach. You can only know God by going closer to Him, not by listening to people tell you about God. The minute that I started to go closer to God, I also started to see that a lot of people who called themselves Christians, who claimed to know God, knew nothing about Him. This was how I found out. I would ask them a question by saying, what has been your experience with God so far? Or how has God saved you from something? Can you explain it? They would speak surface level, but could not really explain how deep, compassionate, loving, caring God has been in their life. But then when I asked them for us to continue this topic, they would rather switch it to the things of the world. Fourth stage, I became more alone because I started to see things for whom they are. I saw spirits, demons. I also encountered the spirit realm. I visited places which I never knew existed. That was how I understood that this world is so mysterious. But no matter how hard I speak to people, they seem not to understand it because they haven't known themselves deep like the way I did. The last stage was freedom. I became free. This freedom came at a price. The price was loneliness because I had nobody to share my experience with. I had few people that I talked to, just the normal surface conversation. How are you doing? How was your day? But to build that spiritual, powerful, empathic life, loneliness became a price because I knew so much and had no people to share with. It is quite good because it keeps me sane, and I encourage myself to go into it more because I was alone, but not completely alone. I was able to think for myself, help myself, draw closer to God by myself, and no one could come tell me about God because I went through the fire and He was with me during the process. He showed Himself to me, and I found out that I am Him in His image and His likeness. And I also found out that this world belongs to me. This world is free. I choose to be what I want to be by my own desire, and I should not let anything bother me. Also, I would go through so many defeats, but not be defeated because I am chosen. I love you.